Hello dear Ronins, welcome to Ronin Hood. Today it will be a review about the XL practical from Hanwei. So we will start with the brand model seller. So from Siberia, you already know maybe the practical XL from Hanwei. There is a huge wide blade with a tsuka around 28-29 centimeters and a nagasa about 72-73 centimeters. It's around $500 and making 350 euros, and we will see now where I found it for Europe in Coutellerie Tourangelle, an excellent seller in France, where you can find many models from Hanwei, Siberia, and here it's not anymore available on their website, but I found it there a couple of years ago and I bought it there. Very good, very serious, very clean seller with beautiful products. If you search some Hanwei product, you can find them also in US, of course, in Cult of Athena. You can see here pictures of what looks like the XL. So now unboxing. So you can see here in my dojo the XL practical from Hanwei on first unboxing. Now measurements. So this is what it looks like. 1060 carbon steel, like many practical first price Hanwei. So you have here the blade, Shinogizukuri, 1375 grams without saya. Beautiful blade, Shinogizukuri. It's a kind of wide blade. So you can see that there is a low shinogi suji with a narrow shinogi suji, and it's kind of a inariku kareru. So not so heavy blade in the sense that there is no niku, and there is a yorimune type ikue that you find on many made in China replicas. Point of balance around 14.5 centimeters from the tsuba. The kashira is with really nice neutral look. Synthetical leather without ishigami for the ito. You see Samegawa is plastic, it's not real ray skin. So I'm okay with that, but I think for the price it could be as many other replica with real Samegawa. Menuki, they are nice. Mekugi, they are clean. Nothing had moved for 3 or 4 years now that I'm practicing with. So a very clean Mekugi. The synthetical leather didn't move. Everything is tight as always with Hanwei. The fushi is kind of neutral design, but functional. It's beautiful. The tsuba is really classic, really primitive aesthetically, but functional, and it's working. Seppa are well cut for fitting with the tsuba. The abaki is beautiful, as always. Copper tones with kind of design with claw lines. Moto haba 3.66 centimeters, moto kasane 6.7 millimeters, saki haba 2.8 centimeters, and saki kasane 5.5 millimeters. It's a ko kisaki, so a short kisaki. Amon type is midare. It's not a real almond. I think it's a mechanical almond or acid almond, as always with first prices on trial level for practical around 300-400 euros. Sorry is 1.6 centimeters. It's a good sorry. Nagasa 72.3 centimeters. So it's kind of for someone who is tall, around 1 meter 80, 1 meter 90 centimeters. Tsuka shape is emo, really thick, really with big width and big length. So the edge is very sharp. I was really satisfied, as always, with the sharpness of Hanwei models, as the special practical or the Shinto. Koregata Shitodome no Shitodome were present. The koiguchi of Hanwei are always really clean and functional. Exception made that there is no buffalo horn on kojiri and koiguchi. And koregata also. No buffalo horn. So for safety, buffalo horn is always better. Especially if you practice nuki-uchi. So the saya type is kuroro, is a simple lacked saya, but well done, well functional. Shinonome katana cover is kind of really thick tissue. I really appreciate their choice for Shinonome on Hanwei brand. So here you can see the katana and saya and Shinonome of the XL from Hanwei. It's a really beautiful sword. Here all the measurements, 72.3 centimeters Nagasa, 1060 carbon steel, weight 1375 grams, almond type Midare, saya type Kuroro, Kokisaki, Yorimune, Inerimaki. Now, first test, practicing with it on my big dojo, inside dojo, on my other small dojo with the kata. It's functional. You can do all the 8 kata of Toyama Ryu that I practice. You need to have a good physical condition if you want to practice with something that is heavy as this sword, because it's really heavy if you practice with one hand, like nuki-uchi and noto, of course, or shibori. So your physical condition has to be really tough. You need to practice weight training and to have stamina, because everything with this sword will be 3-4 times more difficult than with a regular shinogi zokuri. But it's really interesting because you will have a better stamina, and the extra weight will make you feel stronger if you practice kind of 1 hour or 50 minutes every week. I had a long time to practice with, to be comfortable with, like around 4 or 5 years, for sure 3 or 4 years, before I was able to practice with simple cuts without hurting myself. I mean my back, for example, because it's really heavy for my size. And now I'm really comfortable and I can deal with extra weight as the sword, or with longer nagasa that it should be for my size. Here the nagasa is 72 centimeters, so it's longer than it should be for me. I should be practicing with 71 centimeters. Here, cutting paper with simple cuts, pretty well working. So the first positive thing of this sword, and for me it will be almost the only positive thing, is that the extra weight helps you a lot for stabilizing the cut. So for the Hasuji, the extra weight can be a huge advantage if you cut paper or bamboo or omote. But with plastic bottle, empty plastic bottle, it's not a big advantage because you need to be really fast. So I would prefer for plastic bottle, empty plastic bottle, rather than a wide blade, a regular shinogizukuri or a bohi. First cut with Mugendachi. It was really interesting because the extra weight helped a lot. With correct technicity, I was a bit disappointed for Yoko Narabi. Of course, it was a mistake of angle and posture. Second try, I got 4 omote on one shot for the first time. So I improved in comparison with what I did with Warakiri Batosai in Japan. Even it's not the same type of omote. Playa mats are really low quality in comparison of used omote that I practice with in Japan. But I was not good at all on futogiri, and every shot were unsuccessful. So I resigned myself about the angle, the posture, the stamina, the power that will need to be improved and for the future. So finishing with the same omote extract from the futogiri, I finished with simple cuts and it was satisfying again. I was satisfied a little bit more. Even I don't appreciate so much playa mats. It was really better than the result with futogiri or with Yoko Narabi with 5 omote. Even I had 4 on one shot. It was not the purpose, the goal to have 5 on 5. So now the results, if we count all the extra points, I'm around 7 points on 11 omote. So 6.3 on 10 if we are not so nice with medium level. No reuse futogiri bonus cutting points, it's 4.5 on 10. And if we are really hard level, only 1.121 full success per omote. I had a note of 1 on 10 for my performance as swordsman with these swords, with this target, with this stand. So 6.3 on 10 or 4.5 or 1 on 10 for this cutting performance. I was a bit disappointed about the results on the futogiri and on Yoko Narabi, but it's a really difficult exercise, and even the stand was not perfect for Yoko Narabi because a stand with 2 feet would be really better for stabilization of the cut. I was not perfect on my cutting angles and posture and power, so I will have to improve. The tsuka maneuverability, it's around 6 on 10. The blade weight transfer, good value for money is about 6 on 10. Many things are not so well made, in my opinion. Too thick tsuka. For me, the matching size with tsuka and blade length is not so much perfect, but even we put that on the side, it's not so much pretty well working as what I tried in Japan with a wide shinsakuto. So the saya good value for money is about 6 on 10. Sturdiness material, everything is sturdy with Hanwei, so on this aspect there is no problem, but the weight transfer, the balance, everything was not so comfortable, and the materials in general in all the aspects were not so great for the price, around 400 euros. So for me it's practical about 6.5 on 10 because you can just practice Tameshigiri and a little bit batto-do if you are really tough physically. for drawing cuts. So the good value for money is about 6.5 on 10. About the quality of the material, the balance, and the thickness of the tsuka is really a big problem, and it was not so comfortable. Even I have many technical things to improve for Yokonarabi and Futogiri. So now the versus wide shinsakuto. We have seen before on the episode how much great was this shinsakuto. Of course, it cost around 12 to 20,000 euros, but the note that I put was my feeling. And my results were not so better, but the feeling and the performance about the sword were so awesome. So 15 on 10. And I just keep that note in comparison with the XL Practical. So the sword make the work. Even I had just 3 used tatami. The sword with correct angle, correct posture was perfectly making the job, even with someone like me, about 5 or 6 years of practice. So when the angle is not correct, you see the difference. I just cut 2. But the feeling of the blade, that is about 1,700 grams, is just not the same. In the hand, this blade looks like 1,100 grams. Here, the Hanwei Practical XL feels like 2 kilos in comparison with the white shinsakuto. However, I was really enjoying to try myself with the XL from Hanwei 5 targets, and I'm lucky to have 4 for the first time on Yokonarabi. So I will perfect myself, perfect my technicity, my skills in future to be able to have a correct angle, and to, I hope some days, to be able to cut 5 mats on 1 cut with Yokonarabi, and maybe I will try next time just 3 mats for the big mats, Futogiri. Of course, always cleaning the blade after all the tests to preserve the steel of this beautiful Practical XL from Hanwei, and not so easy now to find on the market in Europe. So I'm glad to have this precious sword, and I hope one day I will do better with it. I hope you liked this video. I hope you learn something about the sword and what you can do with it. You can like this video, you can subscribe, you can put some comments and give me some feedback for next reviews and what you want to see on Ronin Hood. I wish you to stay focused, peaceful mind and body healthy, and see you soon for the next episode in Ronin Hood.